Sole proprietorship. A sole proprietor is someone who owns an unincorporated business by himself or herself. A sole proprietor is the simplest business form under one can operate in business. The sole proprietorship is not a legal entity. It simply refers to a person who owns the business and is personally responsible for its debts. A sole proprietor can operate under its own name of the owner, or it can operate under a business of a fictitious name, such as Nancy's Nail Salon. A fictitious name is simply a trade name, a DBA, doing business as. It does not create a legal entity that separates the sole proprietor and the owner from the business. Welcome to today's episode of Biz Coach and Coffee, where we combine business strategies and coffee. In this series, we're going to talk about business entities. We get a lot of questions regarding the entities and how it affects your business. So today we're going to talk about sole proprietorship. It's very popular due to how simple it is to set up, and the costs are really, very, very low. So anyone can do it. So only thing you need is to register your name, secure a local license, and guess what? You have a sole proprietorship ready for business. Now, a distinctive disadvantage, however, is that the owner of a sole proprietorship remains personally liable for all the business's debts. So if a sole proprietor of the business gets into financial troubles, creditors can bring a lawsuit against the business owner. So a lot of these suits are very, very successful, and guess what? The owner has to pay for all the business's debts out of their own personal pocket. The owner of a sole proprietor typically signs a contract with their own name because, they're the sole proprietor. There's no separate legal entity under the law. The sole proprietor typically has customers write checks to the business owner in their name, even if the business has another fictitious or DBA name. And sole proprietors can, and often do, commingle personal and business property and funds, something partnerships, LLCs, corporations cannot do. Sole proprietors, they also have the bank account in just, their name. They don't need to observe formalities such as voting and meetings associated with more complex formal business situations. But like I said, they can bring lawsuits or can be sued in the name of the sole proprietor, the one person. Many businesses start off as a sole proprietor and graduate to a more complex business form as the business grows. So all the income earned in the sole proprietorship is income earned by the owner. So imagine the scenario. You're a sole proprietor and you're involved in a business-related accident which someone is injured or killed. So the resulting negligence case can be brought against the sole proprietor owner, against their personal assets, bank accounts, retirement funds, home, cars, whatever kind of assets they have. Accidents do happen, and businesses go out of business all the time due to this. So any sole proprietor that suffers such an unfortunate circumstance is likely to become quickly a nightmare overnight. So here's some advantages. Sole proprietor, owner establishes sole proprietorship instantly, easily, and very inexpensive. They carry little, if any, formalities. Okay, sole proprietor doesn't need to pay unemployment tax on himself or herself. And owners may freely mix business and personal funds and assets. Now here's some disadvantages. The owner is subject to unlimited personal liability for the debts, losses, and liabilities of the business. And the owner cannot raise capital by selling an interest in the business. And sole proprietorships rarely survive death, or if someone is incapable of moving the business forward, there's no way to pass it on. So think about what kind of entity that you have. Is it a sole proprietorship? Many times when other businesses owners are looking at someone who has a sole proprietorship, they think of it as a hobby, not a real business. It's easy to set up, but the liability is high. If you have any questions regarding this episode or any others, please let us know at steve@bizcoachsteve.com. Here's to your business success. This is Biz Coach Steve Feld. Have a great day.